What it do, flight crew? FTC. Flight team, stand up! They lied to us about Lamelo Ball. Now, when I first heard about Lamelo Ball, it was, I think, in the beginning of 2016, into 2016, something like that. And we pretty much have watched him growing up into probably a top 5 NBA draft pick. I've seen a couple of things that didn't go, the whole fam's way, such as the triple baller brand thing. I thought that was going to be like another Jordan type of stuff, but, it obviously flopped and didn't do what it was supposed to do. LeVar Ball, I feel like he, does too much like bragging about certain things, and it kind of, people was just like, okay, yeah, we get it, you support your son, but what you saying and everything like that, you got to chill out. But saying about necessarily lying about LaMelo, I hope they're not talking about maybe he may not come to the NBA. He may not be as, what everybody's saying. I think he's going to go to the NBA, but let's see what somebody, that is a close LaMelo Ball follower, because I don't follow him like crazy, but I hear about him here and there, But let's check it out. It's crazy. The dude looks like he's 13 in that video against grown men.
I admit that I'm guilty of viewing him through a lens that discounts him. But I remember the night I heard some kid at Chino Hills scored 92 in a game. Then I saw the video. Oh, he's a 130-pound high school sophomore who cherry picks, doesn't guard anyone, and shoots 40-footers like they're a good idea. Okay, great.
That man's a hater. He's just mad he can't shoot like that.
Play Division I basketball.
But hey, he's got a lot of Instagram followers.
Melo is going to be, watch me dance again.
Okay.
#1 pick, 2020.
You see, man, you gotta have a dad or a family member just like that, man. Like, I don't blame him. You know what I'm saying? You can see the look on Stephen A. Smith's face. Like, he's just not buying anything he's saying. You have to be a supporter of your son. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you gotta also be realistic. But like I said, I feel like LaMelo's gonna be top 5. I'm not gonna go ahead and say he's gonna be #1 because we don't know who's gonna be good in this 2019-2020 NCAA basketball season. But LeVar, it's things like that where I just feel like he crosses the line with just being too overly confident with certain things. That's
LaMelo. That good. He's that good. I can't wait for a team to say, you know what? I ain't gonna pick a 6'8" point guard who's young, who put people in the seats. I'm not gonna pick him #1.
LeVar.
I guarantee you, because he that dude.
He's going #1.
That dude, #1.
Look at his face!
If you've been following
Stephen A. Smith's an asshole, bro.
Career, you know it's been one hell of a ride. I mean, from his freshman year, from being known as the short-lived
bro, this man's face,
to then in his sophomore year, being ranked as one of the top point guards in his class. But it all went downhill because of one event that took place.
What?
This LaAngelo event led LaMelo's career into a spiral.
Oh, no, that's not fair, yo.
Sent him away
I remember
to
that.
Lithuania. It was a failed test. LaMelo never really got much playing time, and it seemed like it was all a waste. Fast forward, and LaMelo was playing in the JBA, a league created by his father. Unfortunately, the league had no competition, and LaMelo was putting up insane numbers. At this point, things weren't looking as promising for LaMelo as we once thought. Or is it?
After a wild circuit, what?
LaMelo Ball is a special talent. He was so skinny and short, and yet at only the age of 14, he was able to easily keep up the pace against real varsity basketball talent, and he greatly helped his team win a state championship. Granted, everybody just wanted to see Lonzo play, but they were all taking notice of his little brother that was somehow still dominating the competition at such a young age. There was not a single person that wasn't wondering what this kid was gonna be like when he's older. And next year, LaMelo lit the world on fire, putting up 92 points in one game.
Damn.
And became an internet
superstar
superstar overnight. He was lighting up to competition, leading his team to an outstanding record of 30-3 while averaging 20.
Yeah, he low-key was cherry picking back in the day, though.
LaMelo was the real deal, and nobody was doubting it. He was ranked 13th overall on most recruiting websites and verbally committed to UCLA. He was literally on top of the world. Then it happened. His brother stole from a Louis Vuitton store while UCLA was visiting China, and LaAngelo was suspended for this, and because of this event, and for disputes with the coach, LeVar announced that Lamelo will never play for UCLA and pulled him out of high school to send him to Lithuania.
Damn.
Well, it all seemed like a great idea at first. Lamelo and LaAngelo were going to play against real pros, but neither of them really got much playing time, and it ultimately was a failed experiment.
Wow.
LeVar pulled his sons back to Los Angeles, and he had another grand idea: to create a league as an alternative to college, where players would actually get paid, but in the end, nobody was really getting paid. And the league never really gained enough traction as there was literally no competition. I mean, look at the numbers Lamelo was putting up. This
Damn.
is basically a 5-star recruit.
LiAngelo Ball averaging 49
It's
points.
not hard to believe.
Fuck
he's
you outta
putting up
here.
these types of
That dude
numbers
wouldn't even put up
since
10 in the
just
NBA.
Look at the game.
Hell nah, I'm putting up
Where
50 in
the
that
world is
shit.
the defense?
Where was I in that
At
league?
this
Could have
point,
signed me up.
NBA
I would have had
scouts
sold
were
out
starting to
seats.
worry because of all the antics, and LaMelo almost completely fell out of the NBA conversation, and everybody was blaming LeVar for it.
Draft projection late to second. Yeah, at this point, if he fell out of that top 10 draft pick, it's like I said, I already said it, bro. I just feel like his dad, and it's gonna be sad enough to say, if LaMelo doesn't get into that at least the first round in the NBA, his dad is gonna be the major key in his downfall. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just certain things he just shouldn't have done already. Like, I get it that you had the money to invest in it or whatever, that's cool, but you should have never created his own league. Heck, I feel like he never even should have played overseas. I feel like he should have just chilled out in high school and just went to any type of college in the United States, because in the United States, that's where you have a better chance of getting scouted and recommended and all that stuff, because all the scouts live here. You know what I'm saying? I feel like even if he didn't get into like a top ranked college, you can go somewhere. Like, look at Steph Curry. Steph Curry went to a nobody named college. Davidson hasn't been ranked since he's been in college. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of superstar NBA players. You don't got to go to Kentucky. You don't got to go to Duke. You don't got to go to Memphis to be somebody in the NBA. You got to put the numbers up, you know what I'm saying, and perform well against high-ranking teams. That's what's going to do, you know?
But finally, LaMelo built up the courage to make his own decision for once, and told LeVar that he was returning to high school for his senior year.
Wow.
At Spire. He led his team to a near perfect record, going 17-2, but some people still had doubts and thought he wasn't even the best player on his team, saying 4-star recruit Rocket Watts and 5-star recruit Isaiah Jackson were better than him. However, I completely disagree. While both these players are good, LaMelo was just more
that
of
pass.
a complete player. For example, LaMelo was now 6'7", and with his weight growing with his height, he also put on a little bit of muscle. And while he still has long ways to go muscle-wise, his passing vision was elite. LaMelo often throws full-court passes with pinpoint accuracy and averaged 9 assists during the season. He is an elite rebounder, averaging 9 rebounds per game. He consistently fought for rebounds, and his 6'7" build helps him in that regard. LaMelo is also very agile. Most of his offensive game comes from being able to shift defenders and being unpredictable when changing direction. He also is surprisingly great at reading passing lanes, as LaMelo was the only one of his teammates who was even able to get double-digit total steals, and he was literally head and heels above everyone in that category.
Nice.
He's also an elite scorer, averaging 22 points a game. So yes, finally, LaMelo was averaging 22 points, 9 assists, and 9 rebounds during his senior year.
So against competition.
And with all of that, it's easy to say that LaMelo was just more of a complete player than his teammates. Scouts were starting to take notice at this point and reinserted him into the high school rankings. But they still weren't that convinced of him being a lottery pick, as he was nationally ranked at around 20 plus on most recruiting rankings. Given that's still great, for a player of LaMelo's caliber, it's not what you're expecting.
Yeah, that's true. Early second, late first. Okay, so it went up.
Lamelo made the big decision to forego college and join the NBL, the Professional Australian and New Zealand Basketball League. It wasn't a hard decision since he only had one offer from a low-level D1 college team. But the biggest reason behind him having almost no offers was the fact that his eligibility was in question. But now he's playing against grown men, and even some former NBA players. His teammates Aaron Brooks and Josh Boone both played in the NBA for some time. And since joining the Hawks, Lamelo has been kind of under the radar. Head coach of the Hawks had this to say about him. He's exceeded expectations. He's come with absolutely zero baggage. He's assimilated into his teammates, and they genuinely like having him around.
Wow.
His willingness to share the ball, his willingness to pass, that's fun to be around, and that's fun to play with. I've gotten good feedback that this is the happiest people have seen him in a while. I haven't heard from LeVar, so we must be doing something right. Lamelo acknowledged a need to reverse some of the negative perception NBA teams have about him, stemming from his rocky stop in Lithuania and the off-court drama surrounding him and his family in recent years. So it seems like Lamelo has really matured some, and is completely focused on his career. And this is surprising, considering it's Lamelo. Just a few days ago from this video, the preseason started in the NBL, and 27 NBA scouts came out to watch Lamelo play against some of the best competition the NBL has to offer, and he really balled out. This is what one NBA scout had to say about him. Lamelo plays with incredible pace. He's never sped up, he's never rattled by anything that's thrown at him. You're expecting something magical to happen every time he has the ball. He sees everything, he can make every pass with either hand off a live dribble.
Thanks for reading
His
it.
style of play is tailor-made for the NBA game, especially if you surround him with shooting and better finishers.
Right.
And finally, after 3 games of continued success in only the preseason, an NBA executive came out and said this: "If he keeps this up, I don't see any way Lamelo isn't in the conversation for the #1 overall
That'll be
pick."
sick, yo. Watched him since he was a little kid, 14, 15. Cameras everywhere on him. Now he's back in the top 3, bet.
Lamelo is finally.
You
getting
see how as soon as his dad stops being involved and trying, like his dad was being on try-hard mode. You know what I'm saying? Let your son develop naturally. You know what I'm saying? This is the problem. I love social media because, you know, without social media, obviously I would not, you know, be nowhere. But it's just like sometimes you gotta go back to the basics when it comes to shit like this. Like back in the day, basketball was not social media sport. It was a skill sport. His dad needed to just chill out, stop being a tryhard, focus on the dad duties that you were doing. You know what I'm saying? You know, play golf and, you know, do stuff like that. We know what old heads usually do. And let Lamelo sit back and do the work. You know what I'm saying? As soon as his dad was out the picture, his draft stock rises. Now he's literally back in the top 3, man. That's crazy, man. Sometimes parents can be your uprising, and sometimes they can be your downfall in certain things, man. You got to know sometimes when to be a man or woman and to step away and be like, I can take control of this stuff.
Recognition
No
he's
cap.
always deserved. And let's be real for a moment.
I might have to start asking people to pay me for saying some real shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't act like I wasn't preaching some real stuff right now.
This kid can really ball. ESPN now has him projected to go #3 overall
Wow.
in the 2020
See?
NBA draft.
The last
And
2
if
years, his
Lamelo
dad
can
wasn't
keep
really
up his
involved
play,
as heavy as he
will
was the first year trying to be a tryhard and
go
stuff.
#1. Anyways, guys, that's the video for today.
That's crazy.
I hope you all enjoyed it.
That's an eye-opener,
And as
too.
always, I'm Hando.